But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic and another trailer, another watch. Let's be completely honest. I'm going to say this right now.
Yeah.
The only trailer we're not going to be able to watch is Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool 2 on this. And the only reason why is because blame Fox.
Yes.
Blame Fox. Until Disney officially has Fox completely,
we can't watch it.
We can't do it because, you know, Fox will take our ad revenue money, and we kind of need that money to make this thing a thing. So we're going to be watching the Solo, a Star Wars story official trailer. What were you saying?
I say, hurry up, Disney, buy them out.
Yeah, hurry up and finish that. However, I did hear, and this is a whole different can of worms, that Comcast now wants to get in to try to acquire Fox because the deal's not technically done.
Disney,
so
hurry
they
up.
want to try to offer Fox more money so that they can get it. That's no es bueno.
No es bueno.
Because then we can't get the X-Men in the MCU.
No
but
es bueno.
What we're doing here, we got Solo, a Star Wars story, all ready to go here on our computers. Same thing as we did before. So for Blog Talk Radio and audio listeners, you'll get to hear it. For our YouTube watchers, you'll get to see our reactions and actually see the trailers. We're going to start it on 3. Ready, Johnny? 1, 2, 3. I like when they do that, when they do that stuff and make it like match with the music.
Yeah, no, that's a great thing to do.
I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own.
For having a mind of my own.
I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew.
I love that cast. I love Lando being Donald Glover.
Yes. You mean Donald Glover being Lando?
Yes.
I might be the only person.
That's the one character I'm questioning. Is Emilia Clarke in this?
Yeah?
You really are.
What's that?
Get ready.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
No, it's not!
Space Squid.
Okay. I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
So many. Here's the first one I want to start with. The first question I am going to ask you, Johnny, has to do with... So here's how it all broke down. The trailer that we watched was from Monday.
Okay.
They kind of confused. Like now if you're looking for the different trailers, it's confusing to find them. But Sunday, they had a shortened trailer, didn't show a lot of footage during the Super Bowl. They released then this trailer on Monday. Sean, Dave, and I were watching the Super Bowl at Dave's house, and they show that trailer. The one thing that Sean immediately said was, I don't know if I like it because that doesn't look like Han Solo. Doesn't look like Han Solo, doesn't sound like Han Solo. What do you think to those people who are like, I don't know, it doesn't look like he looks anything or sounds anything to Harrison Ford?
Well, I'm sorry, but we can't have a young Harrison Ford. He's in, what, his 60s, 70s?
Hey, man, they did it in Iron Man.
Yeah, for a few seconds.
Could you imagine if they did that for an entire movie, though?
I think people would actually notice and not be happy with it.
So what you're saying is that it would kind of be like the mustache gate for Justice League.
If you can notice the mustache, you can probably notice someone being CGI'd a whole movie.
Yeah.
So guess what? Young Han Solo, not going to be the same actor. I'm sorry. So far his attitude seems right though. So that's what I'm looking at. And people do change over time, maybe not to the degree that people are like, well, he looks nothing like Harrison Ford. I'm sorry. Well, at least he's portraying at least to me, as of now, it looks like he's portraying the attitude right.
Well, and to me, the only part of this trailer that I was kind of like, oh no, was so at the beginning when he's talking about how like I got kicked out of the flight academy for speaking my mind. I was like,
or having my own mind.
Yeah, for having my own mind. I'm thinking, okay, Han Solo. The perfect Han Solo line was when Chewie makes his and then he goes, "That's a yes," or "That means yes." I'm like, "Yeah, that's Han Solo." The only part that made me go, "Ugh," is when he's talking to Emilia Clarke's character.
Yeah.
And he kind of tries to do the suave Harrison Ford of like, he does the smile and then the back to the straight face. Can't do it the same way as Harrison Ford. Like, Harrison Ford was a treat. He was a delight. He was he is Han Solo.
Yeah.
Putting it plain and simple. And
he is.
that part was like, oh no, like, that's the best you could do that? Like, that's me nitpicking. Like, that one part is like, oh, that needs to be spot on if you're going to do that intricacy of Han Solo, where he goes from the smile to the, oh, I fucked up, I'm going to go back to straight face.
Let's put it this way. Maybe it's, maybe it could be, if they did in the movie, it would be great if they played it off that way. If they, like, maybe they noticed that in production or when he was trying to do it.
True.
So Emilia Clarke goes, "You're new at that, aren't you?" Trying to like be suave, and then goes back to straight face.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not good at this.
We don't know, like, if not Harrison Ford, if Han Solo is always like that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this could be his development. I'm also going to throw in what Mark Webber said when I was talking to him about the same thing of how, it doesn't look like Han Solo or sound like Han Solo. He said, do you just want it to be a rehashed story?
Right.
Do you want it to be a rehash of, here's Han Solo, here's Harrison Ford? He goes, no. Let the kid do what he's going to do and show us a different take or a unique take on the Han Solo character. And I mean,
yeah.
Here's another thing I want to ask you, because there are two things in this movie I want to see, and I want to get your mind of if we're going to see any of these.
Okay.
Number one, I think Han Solo has to win the Millennium Falcon off of Lando in this movie.
Yes, he does. I would agree with that.
We have to see the Kessel Run.
What if this is the Kessel Run?
What if the ending where they were like, oh, I think what if that's like
the Kessel Run,
part of the Kessel Run? Like, we have to see it in this movie, I believe.
This to me is almost like I'm putting a team together. I need all these people to pull off this heist. Because he is a smuggler. Maybe this is like his getting into smuggling business.
Well, it's supposed to be a heist movie too, because you got Woody Harrelson's character who's kind of like a rogue. I'm putting together a team.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably putting together a team for a heist, and that's how Han gets into the whole smuggling business, because he got kicked out of the flight academy.
He got kicked out of the flight academy, but also he's what I don't know if this one had or the other one had it. He's been doing what since age of 10 or something like that.
Wasn't he saying like flying?
No, he's been he flies for the he got kicked out of the academy because
You're talking in the trailer they mentioned.
It's either the Sunday trailer or the Monday trailer.
I missed it then.
There was something he said in the beginning about like basically swindling people in some way. A nicer term of that.
Yeah, that was
since the age of 10.
That was the Sunday trailer, because that was the one where the thing is, the Sunday trailer didn't show enough of Han Solo's character.
Yes.
The most you saw of him is when they flip open the blinders and you just see like the slashes of light on his face.
Yeah.
And he gives the smile. Beginning, he has the cloak and the hood's up, and it's like, I think that's Han Solo's character. So I think that's what you're talking about from the Sunday trailer.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl ad.
One of them you showed that it said that in the beginning before saying the second part of getting kicked out of the academy. So yeah, I think that'd be an interesting one, because he's been doing it his whole life in a sense.
Yeah.
And then he went into the academy kind of like, I'm trying to be a pilot, but they don't like how I do it.
Doesn't like that I have my own mind.
Exactly.
But here's the thing that kind of worries me about it. I'm kind of looking for the exact article. I am going to find it here on Screen Rant. Is apparently there were stories about, here it is. So Ron Howard was reluctant to direct Solo, a Star Wars story.
Really?
And I know that's just a headline that you see. Here's the actual quote. So in an interview with EW, Ron Howard says he was reluctant to accept the job because he hasn't planned on directing anything in 2017, let alone a major blockbuster film, and especially at the 11th hour, which is an accelerated production schedule than he's probably used to. Then again, he wanted to help his friends at Lucasfilm. The exact quote is, "I know Chris and Phil, they're incredibly talented guys, and all anyone at Imagine Entertainment wants to do is find a way to work with Chris and Phil. And that's every bit as much the case today as ever. But when I learned that this change was happening, it just came in a moment where I was working on a lot of new projects for Imagine, and I had not planned to direct anything last year. So then this came my way, and I was talking to Kathy and the new tragically late Ali Schirmer, an old friend. I was reluctant, but I also began to feel that I could help." So this is one where you read into the quote, and it's, "I'm reluctant," but was he reluctant just because of the schedule and because of directing? People are also looking at it and going, "Oh, Ron Howard was reluctant. What don't we know about this film that we should know?"
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to look into then is why is he reluctant? Because at first when you hear that, yeah, it's like, oh, so he didn't even want to do this film. And like you said, maybe it's from timing. Maybe it's just timing. Because like, maybe it's like, I wish I had better timing to do this movie. I don't know.
And I mean, the one thing I'm looking at, and there's also articles, I'm looking at one right now. What happens if Star Wars, the Solo, if it flops? That's what people are looking at. Because here's what I'm thinking about. Where these intermediate movies, the Solo, the Rogue One that we saw in between 7 and 8, going into Rogue One, people's expectations were very low.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? It's not part of the major trilogy. You know, it's just a story before episode 4. Like, you know what? If it's bad, it's bad, whatever. It's not a main Star Wars story. I can forget about it. But then Rogue One was amazing.
It was.
Rogue One was phenomenal. And there are many Star Wars fans that I've talked to that are like, yeah, Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie. Like, a bigger favorite than the original trilogy.
Yeah.
In some Star Wars fans' eyes. To me, I always like Return of the Jedi is my favorite, but I like Rogue One would be in my top 5.
Rogue One is
Star
fantastic.
Wars movies. That set the bar high. So because the bar was set so high with Rogue One, and it was to me a perfect movie from beginning to end, that set the bar high for Solo. And Solo, in my mind, many fans are thinking it has to meet that or else it's a flop. It has to meet what Rogue One was because we have that perception in our head and we're not back to the, whatever, we haven't had this. If it's bad kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, if you ask me, it's a little unfair to say that, like, not to say that, but to to ask that of the Han Solo movie. Just because Rogue One, again, like you said, you go in with low expectations.
No expectations, really.
Or no expectations. Your bar is this low. I mean, what's it if, like, let's say if your bar is down here and it makes it here, that's pretty like, holy shit, that was a great movie. Yeah. But let's say your bar's here. This is this hand. Yeah. And then like it's right here. You're gonna say, if it's all about where your bar starts. Honestly,
if it's that last one, I don't think it's as much. The other thing that this movie has to compete with, that Rogue One didn't, was Han Solo is an iconic character.
True.
He is iconic. It's one of those, it's kind of like, I would almost relate it to Robert Downey Jr., where Robert Downey Jr. is no longer just Robert Downey Jr. No. He's Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly.
To where Harrison Ford is Han Solo, but he's also Indiana Jones. Like
exactly.
He's had those roles, but Han Solo is one of them where it's like, when most people picture Han Solo,
they see
it's Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
It's that kind of
It's going to be hard to compete with that.
And that goes back to the first question we asked, and this is what I would tell Star Wars fans that are going to go in with that expectation. Don't go in with the expectation that this is going to be exactly Han Solo's or Harrison Ford's Han Solo is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Don't go in with that expectation, because if you do, then you're not going to like the movie.
Exactly. You need to go in with the mindset of this is going to be a Han Solo introduction film. This is us getting what happened, why Han Solo is when he is when episode 4 comes around.
Now, I want to ask you this, and this is a big question that I have about the movie.
No.
My biggest question mark was you had, I'm trying to look at it, Emilia Clarke's character.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, so if I pronounce it wrong, Star Wars fans, let me know. But she is playing Kira. Q-I-'RA. Kira?
Okay. Probably. Possibly.
I want to ask you what your first thoughts were, because I didn't even know she was in this movie until I saw her in the trailer. What did you think when you saw Daenerys in Solo, A Star Wars Story?
I didn't know what to think because I don't know what role she's playing exactly. It seems like sort of a love interest-ish part. So I'm just interested to see where they're going to play that out so far.
I'm looking right now at some info, and it says Kira was a female human who came to know Han Solo during the reign of the Galactic Empire. The two grew up on the streets together. So it kind of
like
looks
longtime friend.
So it kind of looks like it's going to be that kind of a thing where he's growing up with her. Yeah, so it's Kira. I was right because it says here it's pronounced Kira.
Okay. Yeah,
Kyra?
it's Kira.
Kira?
Kyra, whatever.
I'm going to say I was right.
Kira.
But that's what it looks like. Do you think that's going to be a good mix then with Emilia Clarke and Kira and Han Solo, I should say, with those two? And what do you think we could see from those two in this movie?
Well, I think that would be interesting because it's the one person that knows who he actually is, like known, like if they grew up on the streets together, like you said, she out of anyone in that like group that's going to be there knows who he is and what kind of person he is. So she could mean that, hey, you're a swindler, and I know that, or hey, you're actually a good person deep down and you know it because I know it.
There's
Who knows? It depends on how they portray him in the first chunk of the movie before that adds up.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, the whole thing is my first question of it was like, oh, okay, Emilia Clarke's in this, like, we'll see how that goes. However, I was really excited. For me, on the Super Bowl Sunday one,
Yeah.
because you just see Donald Glover in full, like,
Lando.
full out Lando pimp fur, basically, is what
Yeah.
I'm calling it. He's got the pimp jacket on with the fur, and he's just looking with that nice mustache, and he's just looking like, yeah, I'm a badass motherfucker. That's what I'm doing.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. That's what he looked like. Here's the thing with Donald Glover is Lando Calrissian. I apologize for our viewers that don't like swearing. I had to do it for Lando because he is a bad MFer. That's what he is. And here's the thing with Lando, and I'm bringing in an opinion that Mark had expressed to me on Tuesday when we recorded the Onside Kick. Mark's like, Lando's this character that everyone's like, oh my God, Lando's so cool, and oh my God, I love Lando. And he goes, we barely saw Lando in the original trilogy.
True.
He was barely in those movies. We know nothing about him, yet everyone loves him. I agree with Mark in the sense that I want to see more of Lando in this film.
Yeah. And
I want to learn about Lando's background as much as I want to learn about Han Solo's background.
You know what else I was thinking about though?
What?
Along with that, so
because are they going to meet? Are they going to already know each other? I want this to be them first meeting. I want to get that whole connection going. I don't want Lando and Han to already know each other.
Yeah. That would be cool, actually. Just this is the meeting, becoming friends in a sense.
Yeah.
Chewbacca is already with him when he agrees to do the mission
from the Woody Harrelson character.
But if I remember correctly, and do correct me if I'm wrong, the reason Chewbacca stays with him and in essence stays with Rey and all that is he has a life debt to Han Solo.
Okay, true.
So I'm wondering if we're going to see any glimpses of that part.
We have to, because think about it.
Why would
this way.
you stick with them?
Well, no. Think it this way too. Beginning of the trailer, we see him in the speeder.
Yeah.
When he's talking about he got kicked out of the academy, and it looks like the cops or whatever it is, the Empire or something.
Yeah.
Someone of authority is chasing after him.
Exactly.
But what do we see? No Chewie.
No.
Chewie's not there. Now, that could be a scene where Chewie's off doing something else, or it could be a fact of, because of the narration they have, before he met Chewie. And he's got to meet Chewie in this, too. However, what do we see in that land speeder that's kind of ironic? The dice.
True. I forgot. I didn't notice that.
However, here's the thing that plays into that. If he already has the dice as the overhanging thing, then does that mean he's already won the Millennium Falcon from Lando? Because I thought that the dice, and this is the same dice we see at the end of episode 8, that those dice were symbolic because those were the dice he used to win the Millennium Falcon off of Lando.
Yeah, that could be the dice that he used. He used his own dice. Maybe he likes to carry his dice on him. So just because he's carrying it on, it doesn't mean
well, I'm saying like they're
it.
already like a gold chain and gold in the land speeder that we see at the beginning of the trailer.
Well, maybe he already did win it from him. That would kind of ruin him winning it in the movie.
Yeah,
that would ruin that. My guess would be no. I would hope not. Maybe it's like at that point. Maybe it like comes
unclicks and he can use like the gold dice.
Yeah, that's the one fancy thing he has.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a great way to keep them together and not lose them.
Two things I want to see from this.
Yeah,
two things I want to see from this movie. I want to see the Kessel Run, and I want to see Lando lose the Millennium Falcon to Han Solo. That's what I want. I want to see Han get the Millennium Falcon. You know who else we didn't see in this trailer?
Who?
Paul Bettany. He's in this movie too. Vision.
Is he?
He is. He's going to be playing Dryden Voss is who he's going to play.
Interesting.
We didn't see him. I didn't see him in this trailer.
I didn't either.
Which is interesting.
Well,
so they're
again,
keeping... I like that. Keep something away from me so that I don't get everything in. But it was interesting as I'm looking at the cast. I'm like, I didn't really see Paul Bettany in this trailer.
At least not yet.
No, maybe he's one of the baddies. Maybe that's what it is. Because off the top of my head, maybe Star Wars deep divers know more about his character than I do, but I don't know much about his character.
I mean, that name sounds like someone from the Empire. Like, what was it again?
It was Dryden Voss.
I mean, that sounds...
Voss? I think it's Voss. V-O-S.
Could be either one. It could be either way.
It's however you want to say it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Any final thoughts on the Solo movie?
Like, I'm excited. I would like to see the Kessel Run. That's not one of the ones I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for... I'm not pushing for that, though. I'm pushing for the life. I want to see the life debt. I want to know what he did to save Chewie's life that warrants a life debt.
That's got to be in there.
It has to. And I want to see him win the Millennium Falcon from... Lando.
So we both want to see the Falcon get one. You want to see the life debt. I want to see the Kessel Run. You can get all three in here. Yeah, I think you can.
We can get all three in there. And I mean, you know why I want to see Chewie's thing.
Yeah, because you like Chewie. You like Chewie, too.
Yeah, I like Chewie.
But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What do you think of the Solo, a Star Wars movie? What were your first reactions when you saw the trailer? And what are you thinking about now that you've got a week or so to kind of stew on this trailer and think about it more? Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.